Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. What day is ACC Days again? It's the
We're
20.
live, bro. We're live. It's the
What's up,
21st.
everybody?
It's the 21st through the 26th. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Guru and Goat on the road again. And this is going to be a show debuting this college football season with my guy and myself, Guru and Goat. We're going on tour for part 2 and giving y'all a behind the scenes look into what we have going on behind the scenes in the college football world. So this got requested by one of the governor's uh, chat members, you could say, a part of the community that talked about it would be cool to see the day in the life and vlog content. So we're going to be giving y'all a lot of that and more. Special shout out to DCLB Nation. They sponsor this stream and every single stream that we have for you of Guru and Go on the road. Again, just hit 14K subscribers, the fastest growing sports productions company in the world. Would love to have you support, especially because you know that there is no off season, my friend. Guru, go. This feels good to be back, bro.
It really does. It's that time of year again where I feel like, the entire off season, if you guys been following us for a while, we've been holding you guys down the entire off season over there over at the CFB Nation. No off season, like my guy Guru just said. But on the road again is going to be really special. You guys are seeing us. Big 12 Media Days, day one just commenced. We will be at ACC Media Days on the 21st. We'll be giving you guys a plethora of coverage there. It starts the 22nd, but we'll be there on the 21st. But without further ado, let's get into this, Moon. Day one of Big 12 Media Days is in the books, and we're here to recap the excitement of Big 12 Media Days day one. Scott Satterfield said something last year that really upset me, but looking back at it, it doesn't upset me as much because I think what he said has some validity to it. He was like, hey, when I was at Louisville, we did it at a hotel. They do it at an entire NFL stadium. They bring in as much media as they possibly can. Not only does each of these coaches and players get time at the podium, they also get time with ESPN. They make time, like our emails have been going off. We've been getting a bunch of Mountain West emails because their
All day
media
long.
days is going on as well. We're getting a bunch of Big 12 media days, so our inboxes are completely full. But let's get into it. Brett Yormark kickoff Big 12 Media Days, just as every commissioner was. We remember how Jim Phillips kicked it off last year, talking about the successes of the Big 12, both on the gridiron and off the gridiron. I really like the promotional video that stated kind of what the mission statement is. Everybody's asking, what's next? What's next? Because we seen Brett Yormark. He was able to, wow, things look bleak. They lost Oklahoma. They lost Texas. He was able to go gather more teams. While George Clearcloth of the Pac-12 waited in hope, Brett Yormark got active and he was able to bring teams in. But I like what the statement was. What's next? And guess what they said, Moon? They said we are. We are what's next. So I love that. Moon, what were some of your takeaways from the opening remarks?
I just love how confident he was. I love how everybody that talked, for the most part, all of the coaches commended him and his leadership. He talked about last year expanding teams. This year he's been expanding personnel. That's something we got a chance to talk about, like in the green room, of just how bold he's being in the target acquisitions for different staff that he's putting around him. He spoke with confidence throughout the entire press conference, even throughout the questionings, thanking every single member, uh, just showing love to the people that is coming covering the conference. He talked in expansive an amount about just how beautiful it is right now for the Big 12 and the future of the Big 12. Like, things are booming right now. It was a 6 teams had 100% stadium capacity last year, and now we look into this year and only project that that's going to be higher. There was no team that had under 85%. So we look at that, projecting where the other sports are. Basketball is already at a high level state right now, only getting more expensive. They really are locked and loaded with the core four, with the four corners schools that they just added. and it
Huge
seems like
miss.
those seems like those additions are fitting in pretty nicely. I mean, it's only been a short period of time, but I just love how confident he was. I love that was my first time seeing him in full capacity speaking, and he captivated me from opening jump. While with how he not only thanked the city of Las Vegas, but he thanked the media for covering and doing a great job of doing that too. And if I had to give it a grade, I'd give him a solid 94.
I'm a huge
I give it a
fan.
94.
I'm a huge fan of Brett Yormark. I think everybody at this point knows that even when there was a lot of criticism and a lot of trolling on X, artists formerly known as Twitter, like, oh my God, look at what they're doing now. They're about to sell the rights to the conference name for a partnership. The goal is to generate money. Why did the schools of the Pac-12 break down? Because they couldn't generate money. And George Kliavkoff was waiting on his media rights deal, like waiting for Godot. He was waiting on it, waiting on it, waiting on it, waiting on it. Guess what? Godot nor that media
Never
rights
came.
deal ever showed up, and then everybody got the booking. That's exactly what happened. So, Brett Yormark, fantastic job with the opening. There's going to be a lot of pressure, and I know we're not talking about ACC, but I'm excited
There's
about
gonna
ACC
be
and
some pressure on Jim, bro.
Jim Phillips, bro,
I'm trying to know
because
what you're trying to
Clemson is
hear.
ready to exit. North Carolina is seen as a pivotal territory for the SEC. ACC's got a lot.
Gaudi, think about this, bro. We're gonna be there in a couple of weeks. So you remember what Phillips told us last year? The big thing was, we're gonna be expanding to the CW now. Or all of the controversy has been going on. Like, we are strong, we're staying 10 toes down, never folding. Okay, cool. So we get to where we are right now of the Big 12, and this essentially is the big first power player press conferences and media days to go on. This man Yormark came out the gate swinging. So now we get a couple of weeks down the road. You see the compare and contrast. I know it's not apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges technically, but like the reception that Yormark got, the questions that he got, the respect you can tell just based on just the decision making that he's been putting forth. It seems like they are very confident in their leader if you're a school. And the thing that stood out emphatically to me, GOAT, is this. He said that they are the deepest conference in the land in football. And it's going to show this season. He said it's going to be a race to the finish and that they're going to promote it in November as a race to the championship game. So
the buzzword we continue to hear, and my apologies, the buzzword we continue to hear throughout the duration of the Big 12 media days was parity. It was a word we kept hearing. That is parity that we might not necessarily have in the Big 10. Look at the disparity between the great teams in the Big 10 versus the lesser known teams, or we could kind of say the same thing for SEC. Well, I think we have a lot of middle tier teams. We do have some upper echelon teams, but we do have the Vandies as well. And I think the ACC has that parity as well. So that was kind of the buzzword that we heard today. And I was excited to hear that. But let's move along. "2023 was an interesting year for Sonny Dykes and the TCU Horned Frogs, especially after their immaculate 2022 season. Last year, the Horned Frogs finished 5-7, 3-6 in the conference. First things that jumped out in Sonny Dykes' presser was him thanking Steven Johnson, a media personality who asked the first question. Really showed how genuine Sonny Dykes is. Dykes added after that comment that he likes the leadership of this group and is impressed where they are up until this point. A lot of times we see coaches like Brent Key. Brent Key don't talk to me about the past. Don't talk to me about the future. Just talk to me about the right here and now. And he stole the show at the ACC Media's days. But I feel like we saw Sonny Dykes where, that 2022 season, we all were loving TCU. They kind of came out of nowhere. We're like, there goes Lincoln Riley, little brother Garrett Riley, just calling plays better than his big bro. So we've seen a lot of those fantastic things. Here we are now. 2023 season didn't go as planned, but they lost a lot of surefire talent after that 2023 NFL draft. So, Moon, what are some of your takeaways from this presser? And what are your expectations for TCU in 2024? I think they're one of the harder teams to kind of dictate, what do you think they'll do in this upcoming season?
I really just love how he talked about like there is no difference between well, there is a difference between like recruiting because it's hard to find those big guys in the middle, like on the D line when you
Mhm.
have 3 down, 4 down
For
linemen,
sure.
and you have to recruit differently. So they've been really attacking like the defensive line. Because they know he knows, Sonny knows, man, that it's hard to find them guys. And as we gotten a chance to see Sonny grow, I like this version of Sunny Goat. I like him. He's very personable already, but he has like this. It's almost like we've already seen what the mountaintop could be, and we got to the
Mhm.
mountaintop, and we can all agree that TCU folded against Georgia. But
I'm sure you enjoyed every waking moment of it.
I did. But
Mhm.
but when I talk about just TCU as a program, the one thing that stuck out to me in this press conference was he understands that retention is everything, and
For sure.
that they were hoping that, well, players like D Winters, for example, linebacker, or players like Max Dugan is still going to be there, and the residual effect of their impact is still going to be felt on the roster. But what happens when you don't have that much retention from your
Right.
roster? That's going to
Losing
be an
coordinators is
adjustment.
difficult as well.
Yup. He got a good one on defense now. Like that's
Mhm.
one of the things I think will be exciting for TCU this year. I'm more interested to know how they handle the pressure with playing at home. They know that they gotta finish strong. But on the road, their schedule is brutal. There's just no way around it, bro.
It, it,
There's
it
none.
is 100% right. There's no way around it. Returning 76% of their production. I think they have the SP plus rank of 36, which isn't bad at all. Recruiting rank of 34, they've been able to do that. Strength of schedule is somewhere middle of the road, but a lot of the Big 12 teams have that middle of the road strength of schedule. But I think you did a great job with answering that. TCU Sunny Dykes definitely a team I'm keeping an eye on. Don't give up so fast on programs. You see programs have successes. You see, you know, things are great. Don't judge a
You
person
can't,
when they're
bro.
up. Judge a person when they're down. And he had a calm presence about him. And I
Yeah.
like what I saw from the TCU presser. Let's get into a team mode that you like an awful lot. And you
Are
and
you talking about
Jalen,
the
there were
team that was voted the number 2 team in
yes,
all of
yeah,
the Big 12 for
yes, we're talking
this
about
season's
Chris
finishes?
Kleeman and Kansas State Wildcats were next to the podium,
Nine
and
and
the
four
team in the
last year.
Little Apple have huge expectations this upcoming season. Preseason media poll picked them as second best team in the conference with no players named to the media poll first team all conference. That's a little weird. So you acknowledge how good my team is, but you're saying the players on my team are not good enough to be first team all conference. Interesting choice by the media.
Yeah.
It kind of made me look myself in the mirror because we voted. Me, I voted. Jalen, who's in the chat, voted. Moon voted. We was all able to vote. But it's interesting why didn't any of their players kind of get
I
named?
felt bad leaving DJ off, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
really
I I,
did.
I don't even want to talk about it, bro. Interesting thing here, and a fun fact: Kansas State is playing 10 Big 12 games this season.
Mm,
That is immaculate. So when you look down and you look at things later on in the season, and you looking at a team in a Big 12 that has one or two losses, and we're in November or December, you look at that strength of schedule and the fact that they played so many games, and one that doesn't even technically count as a conference game, even though it was a conference game, because we know a lot of
yeah.
these games are scheduled way in advance. Like we seen Lincoln Riley trying to do the rope a dope when it come to playing LSU. He want no smoke with LSU. I don't know what his problem is, but he wants no problems. And I think his plan kind of
That is
backfired. But
factual.
that's for another day. So Moon, this is the team that you have pegged as the best team in the Big 12. What stands out to you about this Kansas State team? And I know you can talk about that team in Little Apple all day.
I can, but I will say this. After these Big 12 media days, I've had a change of heart about a couple of teams.
Uh-oh.
I've had a change of heart, and I'll get to them later because we still got them coming up on the docket. Kansas State 9-4 last year, 4 offensive returning starters, 8 defensive returning starters. It looks impressive to you,
Mhm.
especially when you talk about Sunshine coming back and you talk about Sunshine in Manhattan. That just looks beautiful in your mind. But when we talk about this upcoming season at Colorado is a team that I am looking at. I'm like, yo, circle it. But before we even get to that, early September gets jumping early for Kansas State because they got to play Arizona on a Friday night in a Little Apple. We plan on being at that game. So the story of that game is still left to be said. However, when I look at the schedule for Kansas State, it's very favorable, and they do have to play Oklahoma State this year. That's going to be a heavy test game for them. They do have to go to Iowa State to close the year out. They are very much aware of that.
But 70 strength of schedule, that bodes well in their favor. And that's why I like a lot
In
what
the
Zach
college
Redding
football
just
playoff
said.
committee.
They will be a
Exactly.
college football playoff team this year.
All of this is your
That'd be
resume.
tough to go against. Yeah.
All of it's your resume. DJ Giddens is coming back after putting up 1.2K last year and 10 touchdowns, 5.5 average. Like, that's the guy that we're looking at behind Sunshine that can provide pop. We've already seen it. Quick question, KT, just rapid fire question. Who is the all-time leading career passing yards leader in Kansas State history?
All-time career passing yards leader in Kansas
You can play
State
along in the chat, people.
history.
I'll give you a hint.
I'll give
you a hint. His NFL team played in my favorite team's conference.
Okay, so you're talking about the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about
you good. You got that
Josh
one.
Freeman. Hey, yes. My guy Zach Redding said it. He helped me. Hey, I appreciate that. Josh Freeman. Great call. That was a great pull right there. I like that.
But they have put out the smaller running back type build.
Even they have.
Even back to like Darren Sproles, bro.
And they just got another one.
That's their build.
They just got another one, bro.
They know exactly what they're looking for in that mode. This meeting that we got on Arizona, that's the 8th meeting between the Wildcats and the Wildcats. That's what I'm looking for, the Wildcats and the Wildcats Bowl. But this is the first matchup that we're going to get since 1978. And this one is going to change the course of the season for them because it's a Big 12 game. That's the reason why. It wouldn't matter if it was Pac-12 and we just another non-conference game.
I have high expectations for Arizona. I'm a little scared they lose a running back. Of course, they lost Jed Fish. He's now in Washington. He's in the Big Ten now.
Oh my God, Jed.
Yeah. So things shall be interesting. Kansas State. So you said some things have changed. Are they still your team to beat in the Big 12?
No.
Has that changed?
Well, no, they're not my team to beat in the Big 12. That team is a team that we'll talk about a little bit later.
I'm sure we'll figure that out.
I'm kind of glad. We got to talk about it later because he's gonna get all the roses. But I feel bad in the preseason.
Like that take?
Bro. Which one?
That's a great take. Zach Redding.
Chase Brown is the next Tyler Lockett. Book it. Tyler Lockett is actually number 1 in career receiving yards record. 3.7K, bro. I'm thinking, you think you can hit that in his career? I would give it a strong. I don't feel like, you know how we talk about hot takes and how hot and spicy that is. I feel like that's like medium.
That's a spicy take right there.
For me, it's medium.
Numbers in a little apple, bro. Like,
he has a quarterback to do it. Right now.
Oh, that is interesting. Moving right along. This next
lofty expectations is the key of the conversation for Kansas State, because even Coach Kleiman will tell you that like they might not quote unquote listen to it or whatever, but they hear it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what their offense is looking like after the Klein vacancy. So I'm interested to see that. Big news coming from Big 12 media days as it pertains to Scott Satterfield and the Cincinnati as the word Cincinnati was misspelled by the Big 12 on the jersey, bro. Like, who raised you? Like, where is quality assurance, bro? We're talking about the Big 12, dog. Where's QA? Somebody didn't look at that. Granted, now I ain't from Cincinnati. I done misspelled Cincinnati a plethora of times, but that's what
Just
Grammarly
call it
is for.
Cincy.
Somebody ain't look back at that like, hey, that's spelled wrong, dog. Like, I guess they was like,
Yeah.
well, maybe nobody had noticed, and they like the little kid with the cup. You know what I'm saying? The little gift with the kid with the cup, bro. I swear they probably was hoping nobody would notice, dog. I swear. So Scott Satterfield and the Bearcats struggled in year one. In the move
It
from
was
the
tough.
AAC to the Big 12, they went 1-8 in Big 12 play, finishing 3-9 overall last season. Moon, if you remember, let's go back to CFB Nation, the flagship show before it changed to Overreaction Monday. The flagship show, we had a bunch of guests on, and I asked everybody a question: what was the worst hire of the 2022/2023 coaching carousel?
You said it with your chest.
Overwhelmingly, it was Scott Satterfield. Overwhelmingly, after year one, it looked like you gentlemen were correct. But we are all about glass being half full, not half empty. Moon, what does Cincy need to do to be more competitive in 2024?
Cincy, first off, prayers up to Dante Corleone, because like his situation that kind of just came out of nowhere. They gave praise to the medical staff already. So I just want to give praise to them too, from Guru and Go on the road again, and prayers up to his health. Cincy, restate the question for me, bro.
What does Cincy need to do to be more competitive in 2024?
They have to trust the pieces.
Program. You can look at the program last year and tell two things. Luke Fickell was gone. The next thing that they can run a rock. The third thing is they couldn't pass the rock. Three things. If you look at Cincinnati overarching theme, those were the three things. Oh, Luke Fickell isn't here.
Yeah.
You don't see the heart that you've seen up front. So yeah, what are things that they can do to be more competitive in 2024?
Well, first off, I'm happy to say that if you're a Cincinnati Bearcats fan, all is not lost. We just got to keep improving and getting better from what we put in place last year. You should have hope that the number 7, because that's how many offensive linemen that we got coming back. That's the core of what this team is and what they're going to be in this new year of 2024. If projecting, looking forward, and you are a Cincinnati Bearcats fan, you have to look at the offensive line and say, that's what's going to be what cashes checks from me this year. Right. If I am a person that wants to add more onto that, I would say that they have returning production at the highest rate for them at wide receiver and at running back. So that is already stability. But to have a gut blow like what they received with an interior nose tackle, that is just, he already got all the praise in the Big 12 voting this year.
For sure.
We voted for him.
Yeah, he was on me, you, and Jalen's board.
Yes. And I'm super excited for how they will rally around him, not only the school, the team, the community. But I'm excited to see where his progression is throughout this early part, because we still have some time and there's still hope. But for this team, where we are right now, I'm not really, outside of the key pieces that we know, KT. You got Xavier Henderson, the senior, who's special. We got Corey Kiner. Then on the defense, I'm looking at the defensive line. Who's going to step up this year behind him? Corleone, Jalen Hunt, Kamari Burns, Cameron. I'm looking at y'all. How are we going to step up? Micah Coleman Sr., I need you to step up. Jared Bartlett Jr., I need you to step up, because we have all these starts and all these learning experiences, but how are we going to put that to use? Kai Miller. How are we going to put this to use, Derek Canteen? Like, that's what I'm looking at. This defense is going to be the Achilles heel of this team. They're going to be the reason why Cincinnati is good. or just mid this year. In my humble opinion, I know special teams, they're getting better and they're improving, but it's really just defense, specifically the linebacker room and specifically the D line room. How are we going to get how are we going to get heat on the quarterback? You can't let the man stay back there all day long and expect to win Big 12 games with just the ferocity that's on your schedule week in and week out.
And the quarterbacks in that conference, like, come on, bro. You gotta get to the passer.
It can't happen. You got to go on the road to play Shador. You have to go on the road to play KJ Jefferson. What? What?
You watch out for KJ Jefferson, by the way.
You got to go to Matt Campbell and Iowa State. You got to go to Chris Conley. Like, no. But there is hope because this offensive line is some bullies. Absolute bullies. Luke Condra, bully. Bully. So I'm just banking on the fact that they have great starting production, returning production from last year on the offensive side, 8 peak players, 7 players on the defensive side, a lot of lettermen for sure. And I'm just banking on the fact that their schedule, if they can just pull off some wins to start the year off, we're going to get a chance to see them early against Pittsburgh to see what they really got, especially since they're playing at home. We're going to see them early against Texas Tech on the road. That's a crazy atmosphere for them. By the time we get to early August, do you say over or under 3 wins? No, over or under 4 wins? I guess you could say 3.5 for Cincinnati, because they got to play Towson, Pittsburgh, at Miami of Ohio, Houston, and at Texas Tech.
For Cincinnati, for me, it's going to come down, and me and Jalen did this on College Football Showdown, as well as I think it was Nino and I did this on Overreaction Monday, where we did the overall unders for the conference. For this team, I got to see some things on paper. I got to see it in real life. I want to exclude on paper how hard are they hitting in camp and fall camp. That's what I want to see.
That's why we want to go out there and see
how physical are they going to be. You know, they should be able to run the ball, but will they be able to create yards down the field? That's what I want to see. 3.5 is where it's difficult because I'm confident in a 3. Am I confident in a 4? So give me to fall camp. Yeah.
Okay, we'll revisit it. We'll revisit it when we are at Virginia Tech for fall camp, and we talk about that.
For sure. I love it. Joey McGuire and Texas Tech were next to the podium. Go ahead, switch this overlay. And this is a team I had enormous expectations for last season, and things didn't quite pan out. Jerron Bradley didn't have that breakout sophomore season I expected, and he is now on Chestnut Hill.
Right.
I'm sure Castellanos is excited about that. The Tyler Shuck injury also did the team no favors, but still, Texas Tech finished the season strong at 7-6. That included a bowl victory. Here's a fun fact about Texas Tech. The last 2 years since Joey McGuire's been the head coach, in November and December, their overall record is 8-2.
They are fantastic when it comes to closing out the year.
They need to finish. I'm sorry, they need to begin a lot stronger. They need to start off fast off the blocks. I think that's the key for Texas Tech this year. Can they start fast off the blocks in Lubbock? Coach McGuire stated that this is their deepest, and keep in mind some of the talent he's had on this team, the deepest and most talented team that they've had in Lubbock in his 3 seasons there. You know what I've noticed in the difference between coach speak? You know I'm a weirdo, bro. You know what
we pick up on it.
Differences in notice in coach speak in ACC and Big 12. Big 12, it's like that Southern hospitality. The coach is a lot more calm. You get a lot more honesty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of that Southern hospitality. You in Hotlanta, you know all about that Southern hospitality.
Right.
In the ACC, everything is top secret, bro.
They're not spilling no beans at all.
You're not getting nothing. Go ahead and ask Brent Key some of the questions that Big 12 media asked some of these gentlemen today. He would have told you about yourself.
Yeah,
that's
so
the
we're not
biggest
talking
difference.
about last year.
Yeah. Oh, y'all want to talk about the past? Oh, y'all want to bring up that Miami game? Don't talk to me about the past.
We got lucky.
He ain't going for none of that, bro. With that being said, though, Moon, My bad. With that being said, Guru, what are your expectations for Texas Tech this upcoming season?
Ben Roberts got to be an absolute savage. It's time to step up, Ben. It's
That's one of
time,
Neil's
Ben.
guys. He
It's
picked
Ben. It's time, Ben.
picked him over Mr. Martin, Oklahoma State.
I know I did, but it was for motivation.
Yeah.
It's for motivation. I know they be
Mm.
watching. They
Yeah.
got to. But
Mhm.
listen, I'm gonna start with Ben first because he's a dog. He's
Savage.
an absolute dog. I can't wait until we interview him. But that's what I'm looking at, sophomore, to really come in and just make his presence known. He had his 107 tackles already, 6.5 tackles for a loss. I'm looking at him like, I need you to be the vocal leader this year, because I understand that this team is deep, but yet they're going to still rely on the presence of an absolute savage, like to make sure that everybody is in their jobs doing exactly what they need to do, so you don't have to rely on all of the coaches. You don't have to rely on the coaches pulling y'all out of like inner turmoil and stuff like that. As far as a team, like he talked about them being closer and things of that nature. I'm happy and excited to know that. But the talent on the defense is taking a step up. This recruiting class that Texas Tech just brought in is taking a step up, a couple of steps up. And that's what leads me to my next thing.
Uh-oh.
This man, Scott Satterfield, and he got a lot of hate with Cincinnati, right, in our last segment. But this guy right here with this twang that he be talking about. Joey McGuire is growing on me, man. If you watch Big 12 Media Days, it's kind of hard for you not to watch that press conference.
Year, bro. They broke my heart last year.
And I think that's the reason why it's so hard for you.
He's one of the best play callers in the country, bro. We're not just talking about in the Big 12, in the country, bro.
In the country, yes.
They broke my heart last year. So I am getting over a broken heart when it comes to Texas Tech. So don't rely on me for any type of realistic expectations, because they all gonna be down, young. I'm telling you,
forward
bro.
all those messages to Moon. Because
please forward them to Guru. Yeah, dog. Yeah, like I'm like, one of the few things I was wrong about last year was Texas Tech. Like I hit on hit on Louisville, hit on Florida State, hit on Michigan winning the national championship. I feel like I hit on Bama when a lot of people didn't think about Bama. I was wrong about Texas, though. I didn't think they'll be that as good as they were this year. According to Jalen, I'm a Texas hater. So, but this year, Ole Miss is that team that I'm pouring a lot into this year. So if they fail me, I'm telling you, Lane Kiffin, it's over for you, dog. I'm telling you. But continue, Guru. My apologies.
I want to see more production from just the players that they already have in place. Mm-hmm. He talked a talk and gave us a nugget today that we got to just talk about. He said that we're going to be able to see Micah Hudson, first game of the season. They are not holding him back in any way, period. That should answer a lot of questions out there. I put him on my first ballot as far as players for all Big 12 at the end of the year. For sure. He can start from game one, which in my reason, in my thought process, he very well should be. That's number one, that thing that sticks out to me. 2, Taj Brooks.
Oh my goodness. He's a ball player.
That's a guy right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hey, Zach, I don't know if this is your first time watching this channel, but I truly appreciate you, man. Make sure you like the video, continue to comment, and there's a Discord link. I forgot to pin it to this video. If I get a second before the video ends, I'll pin it. You should join the Discord. We love talking ball, bro. I appreciate you. And then here we go. This guy. You're also an Ole Miss lover. Look at Jalen's always telling me about myself. By the way, Pete Golding.
Bro, he's trolling already.
Me and Jalen. Jalen's not a Pete Golding fan. He doesn't think, even with all of the talent that Ole Miss has, and we're talking about Big 12. Here I am talking about the SEC. Yeah. But Jalen, you got it, bro.
Man, Micah Hudson, Will Hammond. I've been hearing Will Hammond been slinging the rock, man. Joey said that he's slinging the rock better than anyone that he's seen. His ratio was like, I have to get the numbers right. I think it was like 23-5, 28-5, or something like that in spring. Like, he was going crazy. So Will Hammond is something that you have to watch coming up. The freshmen coming in are just loaded, bro. From top to bottom. I love their recruiting class. I feel like the whole nation got a chance to see how deep they can get in their bag and how much of a fun destination that Lubbock can be, man. Like, go. I wouldn't mind coming out to Lubbock this year. I'm not gonna hold you. I mean, look, I might
I
not
got I
hold
got East
you.
Coast Gridiron in the building. What's happening, bro?
What did that message say about Ollie
Let's
Gordon? Man,
let's
Ollie
read
Gordon
this
not getting
message,
a
man. Ollie, go.
suspension,
Yeah, go ahead, read it
but
aloud.
Ollie Gordon not getting a suspension, but James Blackman did shows that Gundy is aggressing as well.
That's a spicy take. On a spice level, what is that, man? It's a jalapeno, it's a habanero, it's a
That's
Carolina
those
Reaper.
two.
It's a Reaper, bro. That's a
That's
take,
a Reaper.
dog. That's a take, bro. Shout
He
out to
came
our
for the
guy East Coast
jugular
Gridiron.
as
Make sure you subscribe to them. He does fantastic content as well.
hey, what game would be a better game to go to? Cincinnati, who was just talking about on the 28th, Baylor on the 19th, Colorado on the 9th,
The
and West
reason I
Virginia.
was in Cincinnati, there's a lot of programs that are friends of the network. Where we at, Mo? Somewhere around like 75 programs that are friends of the network. We're allowed to go there. Some programs allow us to do more than others. Wisconsin is probably one of my personal favorite programs. They show us a lot of love. And there are some G5 programs like Liberty will do anything for us. JMU will do anything for us. But Cincinnati recently, and I feel bad because you just asked me a question and they're such a friend of the network and they're always sending us additional information and everything that they do for us. And I can't say they, man, based on that alone, Cincinnati will get 4 wins this year, bro. So
I cannot blame you for that.
They always showing us love, bro.
Yeah, that game on the 28th. That's the second meeting with only one prior meeting coming. That's the first time they played since 1968. What was the take?
Tech avoid
Texas,
Utah, K-State, and is a true dark horse champ game contender. Zach, so are you telling me am I a year early? My
yes, that's what I was about to tell you. You were just a year early,
so
but you saw it
I
too
shouldn't
soon.
give up on Texas Tech.
No, if this is the year, you should be excited about Texas Tech more than anything. Do you see the facilities that they bring in? They 230 bruh.
Yeah.
That end zone, south end zone, crazy, nasty work.
Yeah, I did see them
Patty
talking
Mahomes
about that
with Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
What a time to be a Texas Tech fan, bro.
What a time to be a fan in Lubbock. Wow.
I mean,
I appreciate you guys comment in the comment section. Continue to comment. We like to read them aloud.
Yes,
so,
sir.
ACC Media Days. If you didn't catch the beginning of the show, we will be live from ACC Media Days. We're getting you a bunch of player interviews, coaches interviews. Just keep an eye on this channel. If you're not following the CFB Nation, make sure you're following the CFB Nation. We are the founders of the CFB Nation, the fastest growing college football platform in the world. I think we just surpassed 14K on YouTube. Over a K on Twitter. So we have a nice following. And if you love having just general college football conversation, I believe we have the best community tab in all of college sports. And I'm confident in saying that the CFB Nation has the best community tab. So please check that out. So let's move right along. Kyle Whittingham and the Utah Utes have been a staple tier 2 or tier 1 team in the Pac-12 for years now. And they'll look to do the same in the Big 12. Coach Whittingham made a parallel of leaving the G5 and entering the Pac-12 to leaving the Pac-12 and entering the Big 12. I put a fun fact on here for my guy Jalen because he loves fun facts. Fun fact. This is the 4th time that Utah has changed leagues. They went from the WAC to the Mountain West to the Pac-12 to now the Big 12. Coach stated that this Utah team has the roster to compete right away. Like I said, it's a difference in coach speaking in Big 12 and the ACC because they're FBI agents. It's so weird. Moon, what are your takeaways from Coach Whittingham's time at the podium? And what are your expectations of Utah this upcoming season? They were your number 2 team. I believe we all kind of had them at 2 or 3 in the media poll that we all submitted.
Yeah, because I put K-State number 1. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I was drinking the climbing Kool-Aid. But I'll say that Utah, what my takeaway is, anytime that man gets on the microphone, I just want to just take a trip to Utah. I just want to go see what he wanted to, like every time that man gets on the microphone. Like he's just such a smooth criminal, bro. And I'm not even trying to call him a criminal, but like he's just such a smooth criminal and an assassin with his words. Like, you know how we talked about just the the gatekeeping that we hear
And
sometimes in the
Guru, my
ACC.
apologies. They cooking up in the chat, bro. East Coast Gridiron and Zach Red, they cooking up, bro.
I gotta see Jalen Daniels stay
he
healthy
gotta
for
stay
more than
healthy.
6 games to see them as a runner up.
They don't have that backup
Schedule is
quarterback.
favorable. So that is the point that we always get with Kansas. That's the reason why I feel like a lot of people cannot take Kansas seriously because of one key factor. It's not even about the fact that they got Kobe Bryant on defense. It's not even about the fact that like their coach is arguably one of the fastest rising coaches in college football. It's not even about that. It's about one thing, quarterback. And what about that thing? It's his injury history. Can he stay healthy? That's a fair point, bro. I cannot fault somebody for saying that that's the reason why they would feel this way.
Hey, one thing about East Coast, he gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you straight up, bro. It ain't no filter with him, bro. He be an overreaction doing the same thing, dog. It ain't no filter with him, bro.
That's the point.
That's crazy.
It is a point. Does Utah have to play Kansas this year? Now they ducked out on Kansas, so they don't got to play them.
Yeah.
So
I don't believe they do.
Yeah.
So do you think we'll see a Cal Whittingham special this year?
Where like he retires?
No, just like
because I'll be hearing talk about him retiring, and I'm just like, what? Like,
well, we've been hearing talk about just the future of the team because they have one of the best coordinators in the country, and if you plan on keeping that coordinator, then you better make some promises down the line that Andy Luck with, you better keep your word, bro.
You can have my house.
And we gonna give you $5 million a year. We just don't want you to leave. But think about it. Probably the best coordinator staff when you look at tenure or how long they've been there. Andy Luck with Oregon Scaly, bro. Like, a lot of players, and we're going to see this in College Football 25. By the way, if you haven't been paying attention, we love College Football 25. First day, I'm giving y'all a 24-hour stream. If I get tired, I'm tagging in World of Moon. Make sure y'all check out my boy World of Moon content. His content is so fire as well. But we're
going crazy with this game.
Utah,
if you have to use Utah in this game, though, KT, playing in Salt Lake City, going to be rocking. Playing in Salt Lake City is going to be absolutely special. Playing in College Football 25.
You know one thing I love about college football, they do it in the NFL, but I feel like college football does it better. College football is better, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
You see somebody like Princely Human Leland, and of course Jalen's going to say something. There you go, talking about Ole Miss again. But when he was at Florida, he was talking about how small the stadium was, and then the Utah Utes X page trolled him with that comment. You know what I'm saying? So I just love the troll that happens. Yeah, bro.
That's also a point that Brett Yormark made about social media. They're the number two highest platform on social media for Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
For Big 12 conferences as a whole. So it's like everybody has stepped their game up because it's like so many more teams added. He also talked about, I know I'm jumping around here, but like all these press conferences is like in my mind. But Yormark talked about like, he didn't say that there was a number of schools that was on his list or that or number that he can get to where you'll cut it off. He was just focused on what's right in front of his face right now. And I feel like that's like I feel like if I had to give a grade on if that answer was genuine or not, I would say yes, it's genuine. Because he could have just told us straight up, like, I've been ambitious. I've been doing all. Do you see my track record? Do you see the numbers? Check the stats. Like in the last 24 months of what it is.
Talk like that. I mean, people question what they were going to do after the exit of Oklahoma and Texas. He got active. George Kliavkoff didn't get active, and that's why Pac-12 is no more the Pac-12, and it's all eyes on me. It's the Tupac. Now, you know what I'm saying?
I hope that them Sunbelt schools don't get interested,
bro. They better hope. They've been hyping up Morgan Scaler to be Utah's next coach over the last couple of months. I feel like Kyle's timing is coming to an end. Makes me sad a little. I ain't gonna front thug tears. I agree with that.
So what we're talking about is actually from the streets too, and they talking about it too. Because does he already have a succession plan in place?
Yeah, they do.
So if he does, then do we need to start preparing ourselves now for the possibility that let's say Utah goes to the end of the road and they have just the juggernaut of a season that it is, and Cam Rising does X, Y, and Z and ABC 1, 2, 3.
The Jerome Bettis theory. You're talking about going out in a blaze of glory. Possibly.
And just say blow it up, and then okay, my team not here no more. I don't got Cam. Cam don't got my fullback / tight end, Brent Keith. We all taking out. We going over there, and we just gonna bask in the horizons of Utah. That's what we're gonna do. Ride 4-wheelers. That's what we're gonna do.
Ooh, hey, you talk about teams I love, my brother. NC State and Virginia Tech will be great culture fit for the new Big 12. Partners with WVU and Cincinnati.
I'll say this though: if you let Virginia Tech get into the Big 12, they have the number one stadium atmosphere. And to me, sorry, the rest of y'all guys, y'all had a good run, but VT would be up there. I feel like the fan base is already going to be juiced up this year.
ACC going to make it like. Let me tell you guys something. I'm going to take you guys behind the curtain, as we will do in about 13, 14 days from now when we go to ACC Media Days. ACC knows how to throw a party, bro. Last year, we went to a free rooftop event. They gave us as many drinks as we want. They served us some outstanding food. So if the ACC really diminishes, bro,
we good. We got the
rooftop parties, dog. And the baddies, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that comment by East Coast Gridiron is crazy because like they already got a succession plan. They already ready. But what happens if you get to the end of the road and my guy says, you know what, I think there's greener pastures out here than this mountain, all this mountainous
and there will be. And
there
will be, and then they put
that money is going to be ridiculous. They
already told him how much money he going to make, so they're going to have to match an offer. Let me handle this Zach Redding question. Zach, I'm only talking to Zach right now. Hey, Zach, come here, bro.
Oh, yeah, because you've been, bro. You can handle this one.
Tech, I'm telling you, when Enter Sandman comes on, I am not a drug user other than the herbal essence, if you guys consider that a drug.
Herbal essence.
And that's from time to time. The most powerful drug, and I used to do music, and I used to rap and perform on stage. The most powerful drug in the world is being at one of these stadiums. Enter Sandman comes on. You see people lose their goddamn mind, bro. I'm just in there wide-eyed, like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's like being a part of a cult, bro. I'm telling you, I'll be there a couple times this year. I was able to make it out to the Purdue game last year. I saw the game from the field.
You was there for a while because it got rained on in the Purdue game.
It got rained out.
And we had delay around the nation.
Yeah. So, I'm telling you, Virginia Tech. So I probably will shed some real tears at the end of the third quarter. Jump around, come on. We're going to be at Camp Randall.
Hey, I'm putting the cameras down. I'm telling Mikey, hey.
Friends of the network. And we're going to be able to do a pregame show live from the stadium, too, there. So that'll be kind of cool.
But
CFB Nation is in the building. Hey, make sure y'all go hit that button, man.
Subscribe.
Make sure y'all subscribe to the fastest growing college football platform in the world, Craig.
Stay connected to the community tab, please.
I said this, man. Virginia Tech, NC State, Miami have to have better year than FSU and Clemson for the health of the conference in the next 2 years. That is a fantastic take, and I believe East Coast is a Florida State fan.
So that's even better.
That's a fantastic
the bias is taken out.
They got to, because who gonna carry the conference if those teams decide to leave? Because North Carolina, FSU, and Clemson, we all know their cars. They want to leave. VT Stadium is crazy. Facts, bro. It's crazy, bro.
They start jumping. Yo, I still will never forget when you sent me that video. You sent me that video to my phone, and you said, "Bro, dog, look at this." I said, "What?" It was his phone was shaking. I was like, bro,
it's an outer body experience, bro.
Yeah.
Night games at Doak are different too. We gotta make it down there. That's one of the few stadiums I have not been to. We gotta make it down there.
Florida State when we go to
East Coast. I've been in VT and a lot of other places. You've been to a whiteout at Penn State? VT is a much better atmosphere. That's on the spice level. What is that? That's jalapeno.
Better not let VT mess around and start flirting around with Brett Yormark. And better not. Can college teams?
Yeah, I have no bias with my team. I'm just being real. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, like does college teams and universities have like tampering rules that they can't talk to like other conferences?
I mean, if me and you are friends and you play for the Atlanta Falcons and I play for the
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills,
hmm
they can say that we can't tamper. I call you like, bro, man, listen.
I'm coming over to the
I
Big
just talked
12.
to Brandon Bain. He said he trying to get you this type of money, bro. How much money is gonna take you?
Yeah.
He like, come on, bro. Like, come
Yeah.
on, dog. Like, you know it's there, bro. And I love when we go, and me and Jalen talk about this all the time on College Football Show. Now we just go on these tangents.
We was talking about Utah, but we gonna get right back to
Yeah,
Utah.
no tampering. Everybody treats it as a business now. That's a good point.
Bro, if we
NCAA
talking
said,
business and we talking cash money, then Brent Yarmark, I love how you said everybody talking about you most best dressed. But listen, you have to be ruthless. I would have loved for him to come up on the day, and since he has the juice right now, Brent has the juice right now. He come up to the podium, he say, "Look, come one, come all, come on down to the Big 12, because we are here and we here forever." The 20 team conference, 32 team conference, SEC who. I would have loved to have him come up on the podium and say that. Talk that cash money talk, man.
He's a G, man. Even the media, he sent all the media the same email. Even the email he sent was boss. But let's talk about this next program.
You can't do Utah injustice. We will say we do got to mention we are excited for Cam Rising to be back. We are excited for all of the returning starters that they have coming back. This is probably, I don't want to say like this is their last ride, but with this team current constructed, it is.
It's even in the game, like it's in the game. Literally in the game.
Key note in their schedule, they gotta go last game of the season at UCF at the Bounce House. If they
all high on
cooking with hot grease, and that comes into that game, November in the Big 12 is gonna be insane.
Will we be down there?
I won't
possibly. It depends on what the week.
Yeah. Like. Oh yeah, we can go shoot with UCF.
Yeah,
it's gonna be some decisions because that's gonna be rivalry week, and we're gonna have to make some choices.
And I'm not even sure if I'm staying local that week or if I'm commuting that week. We'll have to see. Let's talk about this next team. Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham took the podium next, and this isn't a team with the highest of expectations this year. But listening to running back Cam Skateboard, the Sun Devils have a Texas-sized chip on their shoulders, and this upcoming season, they are fighting for respect. So I did like a lot of what I saw last year was abysmal. They showed flashes, and it just didn't quite work out. Moon, how can the Sun Devils right the ship this season in their Big 12 debut? And also, we didn't talk about this with Scott Satterfield. Most of the time, coaches get 3 years. Is Kenny Dillingham on a hot seat?
No.
Okay.
I'll start by saying there. I love how he handled his press conference today. Rising is the best 30-year-old quarterback in college football.
Hey, that's funny, bro.
I can't wait to see what Cam Rising's picture looks like in EA College Football 25, because he's gonna look like one of the player builds from NCAA 14 revamped.
Hey, that's funny, dog. He's the best 30-year-old quarterback in college.
Cam Skateboard is one of my favorites in the top 5. He's underappreciated for sure. Yes, yes. But Kenny, GOAT. Kenny impressed me. I love how Kenny approached this press conference. He said, "Man, we're not even about to talk about all this other stuff. We got to get all the way back to the basics. Like, I want players that are good people." He said, "I want players that's good people. I want players that bring joy to this program. Oh, wow. I want players that are good humans." That's what he started off. We were talking about basic fundamentals.
Why he sounded like Fred Hoiberg, man?
Yo, that's a bar right there.
Yo, him and Jimmy Buckets. I don't know. I'm sure you heard about that, bro. Him and Jimmy Buckets discussion was priceless, bro.
But back to college football. I just rock with the fact that Kenny Dillingham just came into his press conference and was just like, "Yo, like, we're getting better. We had like 4 players on our roster last year that could squat over like 500 pounds. This year we have like 8." Yo, he was just so real, bro. I was like, bro, for the state of where you are in your program, for you to be in a situation,
he talking about squats.
He talking about squats,
not a game, but squats.
not a
That's
record total
crazy,
for this
dog.
year. He said, "What do you want your record total to be this year?" He said, "Man, we're not even talking
Gotta get
about
ready for
record
my show. Keep
totals."
rocking, guys. I'll be back more often. Much appreciated, bro.
For
I'm gonna
sure,
check you
bro.
out when we go off.
3-9 last year. They were projected to finish last in the conference
We
by
all
the
put them last
media,
in the conference as well.
but I had to change the heart about them, bro. Like while I still feel like they might get cooked this season, I do feel like this could be a sneak peek of Chris Winky's. Wow. For
Nah, yeah,
Rise's pick,
dog. Chris Winkie was so old playing college football, bro. But that is hilarious. Instead of a Cam Rising pick, they used Chris Winkie,
Chris
and he
Win-
looks like Chris Winkie, bro. That's
that
hilarious,
like
dog.
Chris Winky looks right now on the Georgia Tech
Hey,
coaching staff.
dude, pure
That is
comedy, bro.
hilarious. That's
Hey, yo,
hilarious.
I like Zach Reddy's satire, bro.
Yo, I appreciate Kenny Dillingham and where they are right now. I'm not gonna hold you.
Mhm.
I just feel like everybody in the nation is kind of expecting them to get cooked, and he's using that as motivation for them. I will say that where they are as a team is impressive, just from them being at a better place this spring than they were last spring, to being at a better place this summer and this media days than they were last year. Last year, the thing that stuck out to me the most about Kenny Dillingham's press conference is the fact that he took ownership of the fact that he's in leadership, and he knows as a leader that he should have delegated more of his what's the words, his captain traits, the things that you get to do because you are a leader, the
Right.
things you got to delegate those things more to other people. He broke it down in an example, was saying like, if I'm trusting you to cook Italian and you bring me chicken fettuccine, I can't be mad that you brought me chicken fettuccine. If you wanted spaghetti, then I should have just told you to make spaghetti. But he wanted to have too much control over every single thing. So he said the number one thing that they've worked on this offseason is trust. So just little gems that we know, just dropping
Nah,
out there.
I like that. I like that piece a lot because when your coordinator, your job is to coordinate. You don't have those same roles as you would as a head coach. So once you become a head coach and you're pulling from all of these pieces from all of these different coaches that you've learned from over your tenure of being a coach, you start looking at it and you start saying, okay, well, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Well, that ends up with being 16, 17 hours days, and you saying good night to your family and good morning to your family, and not spending quality time with your family. So being able to delegate, same thing happened to me. I took over the role that I'm currently in now. I want to do everything. I'm spending all these hours at the store. I'm not spending any hours at home. So that's great recognition by him.
Yeah, I think it's great recognition too. And he also talked about just where they are. What's up? What's up, yo?
What's good, bro?
And I kind of got a little teary-eyed. Just a little bit. I should have thugs here for him. Just a little bit. When he started talking to us about that element of him just letting go of this responsibility, because I said to myself, this man's been coaching. He's been coaching since he's 18 years old.
Yeah.
This is his first college football head coaching job, essentially. And now you're in a position where you coming in right after Herm Edwards. You are in a position,
bro. People wanting Herm Edwards to fail on that staff. Like, it was bad, bro.
Now, I don't really know what the future holds for the Arizona State Sun Devils, but I will say that if you got to go out there, Cincinnati, if you got to go out there, Oklahoma State, if you got to go out there, Kansas State, all these juggernauts at Arizona State has the chance to do the unthinkable this year. They could be the spoilers in the Big 12 conferences, just be the thorn in their sides this year. They have every opportunity to knock a top team off that could be a dark horse off and give them that one loss that they don't want on the resume for the college football playoff team. for a team that's projected to finish last in the Big 12 conference. And I'll just say this because September 12th, they got to play at Texas State. That's the team that we're thinking that's going to be budding this year, especially with all the talent that they got. Texas Tech, they play at Texas Tech. They got to go at Cincinnati this week. They got to go. November 2nd at Oklahoma State, at Kansas State, at Arizona. It's brutal.
Yikes.
It's brutal. That is horrendous.
That brings back up the question Jalen proposed. What does riding the ship look like for Arizona State? Is being competitive in every game and winning 4 or 5 games. Of course, it's not acceptable, but as a fan base, is it room for hope, or is it room like, hey, do we have the right guy here steering this ship?
I mean, even their non-conference schedule is tough for Wyoming, Mississippi State, Texas State, third toughest schedule in the Big 12. I feel like they can, at the end of the year, I probably think that they'll make our most improved list out there.
Okay.
Just because last year was just so abysmal. Last year was just so abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a 4th quarter lead in the Territorial Cup, and they just squandered it away. Like, this team can just do the unthinkable. And what does riding the ship look like for Arizona State? I think it just looks like what Kenny Dillingham said: getting players in their program that bring joy to the program. Like, if you want to be there, you can be there, but like, that just brings joy. I think they got a massive chip on their shoulder too, and they don't want to get embarrassed. I mean, who's going to be rocking with an Arizona State dynasty in college football 25? They're using these jokes that they have against them as like talking points for them. Now, did they get better as far as just the physicality to keep up with all the other juggernauts in the Big 12? I would say yes, because they are better they're better right now than they were last year. So I just think riding the ship just looks gradual. What's the word? Acceleration. So like, I don't expect you to go from 10 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour in 0.3 seconds. But I do expect you to go from 10 miles per hour to 20 to 30, like from this year to next year. And as long as he keeps hitting those check marks and keeps being like humble, open, honest, keeping it real with us, the fan base, I think that they can stay behind that and they won't ask for his head on the totem pole. That is the stake. That is the Arizona Sun Devil spike.
Yeah, I think that is certainly glass half full. I think you and Redding did a great job at that. Let's move along to this next team. This next team is really interesting. Oklahoma State is returning a lot of production. I believe they have some of the highest returning production in the country, along with Iowa State. I like Coach Gundy's approach in having a superstar running back and Ollie Gordon come to Big 12 Media Days after having to deal with questions regarding his arrest. Now, when East Coast Gridiron was in here earlier, he made a great point, made a great parallel that, is Mike Gundy regressing as a head coach? But to me, this is ultimate form of accountability. Your PR team ain't there trying to say, well, Ollie, don't answer this, don't answer that. Like, he's not going to answer any questions regarding the arrest. We see the pacifying in the NFL all the time, and we also see it at the collegiate level as well. So I thought it was great that make him go in there, be accountable for his actions, and maybe it's a life lesson that he can learn from it. Hey, you got all of this money, bro. You can call an Uber, bro. You can call a Lyft. You can call a homie. I tell all of my family members that a lot of them know I don't really drink much, bro. So if you need me and you don't got money, bro, call me. I will come get you. I don't care how tired I am. I will come and get you, bro. So, Moon, this Oklahoma State team was just in the conference championship last season. What are your expectations for the Cowboys this season? Like we say, they got a lot of return of production. We know they're going to be able to run the ball. But what are your expectations for this team this upcoming year?
Jalen was the one that made me have a huge change of heart about Oklahoma State.
Same.
Because I didn't dismiss him. Because we had more additions to the Big 12, it made me feel like the middle of the pack is so jumbled up with teams we don't really know what to do with it.
Did your mind go? I would have rather seen Texas and the Oklahoma Sooners in the conference championship last year to see that part
Yes.
two. I think that's where
Yes, for
my
sure.
mind went. And what
Yeah.
I, and of course, Oklahoma State was there because they were able to beat the Sooners last year. And I think that's where kind of the bad taste was left with a lot of us because we wanted to see Texas, Oklahoma Sooners too. It
And they
didn't happen,
blew
but
it.
this is a talented roster, bro.
Just they blew it, bro.
Mhm.
Like they really did. And everybody talks about how they started the season slow with the run game and then they just exploded. But the teams that have them on their schedule are very much so aware of who Ollie Gordon is. He's not sneaking
Mhm.
up on nobody this year.
No,
Even
no.
Kenny Dillingham talked about it. He got how bad do you have to be as a team to get a question in your press conference as the Arizona State Sun Devils head coach about how does Ollie Gordon look? What?
We ain't write down that on our paper for you. We're gonna ask you about another team.
Like what, bro?
The
10
disrespect.
for last year is
Yeah.
just it's crazy for Oklahoma State. But I just think that this year they're not sneaking up on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. They're not sneaking up on Arkansas. They're not sneaking up on Utah. They're not sneaking up on Kansas State either. West Virginia will be prepared, and
It will.
BYU they got a Friday night game, and they're gonna love that.
Mhm.
All I'm saying is that I'm happy that he's taking accountability, like you said.
Mhm.
Gundy put him in the forefront and said, "Look, you're not running
Yeah.
away from this." It was absolute horrible timing, go horrible timing. We just submitted our ballots for Big 12 all conference and we gave it. He was unanimous. He was the only player to get unanimous votes for his
Yeah.
for his position.
Position group. Yeah.
Like offense, defense, special teams, anybody. The only player.
He'll be a preseason All American as well across the nation. Not just he's that good of a player. So you're right. The timing wasn't great at all.
I just wish he started acting like he was that good of a player. It's just don't put yourself in that good those situations, bro. Just please. Why? NCAA college football 25 is coming out and we already seeing you and how dynamic you can be in the game. But now we have to have these just I just say bonehead penalties off the field that don't do anything besides cast a light on a negativity on the team. It does not do anything. So now we have to right
away
the
of
ship.
how talented the roster is. It completely takes away from it.
So when I see stuff like this in the offseason, it's the only team that's popping up at Big 12 media days that have to answer these questions for real is Oklahoma State. Then it makes me say to myself, well, dang, Jalen was right by saying, like, bro, like they could be number one team in the Big 12 by the time it's all said and done. But then I look at the other end of the spectrum when you got East Coast Gridiron saying, like, is Gundy really like regressing as a coach? So I can see both sides of it. What keeps me in the middle is Nick Martin. What keeps me in the middle is Brendan Presley. What keeps me in the middle is Bowman. Like outside of Ollie Gordon. It changes his job position too. Just stupid decisions. Yes. Because he's going to have to get these questions. There's no way around it. They probably going to ask him about this at the Senior Bowl next year. Like, what happened?
For sure. That's if he even go. But he will have to deal with these questions. This won't be the last time. He'll have to deal with it during the NFL draft process as well. So we got one more team to cover, and then Guru and I have to jet because we have ACC Media Days meeting that we need to hold. But let's talk about Matt Campbell. My audio, you guys can't hear me? You guys can't hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. But I don't think they can.
Jalen, they can't hear me? So, Moon, just talk about Iowa State real quick.
All right, so Iowa State, we got Iowa State coming up, and last year they went 7-6 on the season. To be honest with you, 2024
it should be good. It went
good
to my
now.
other audio.
Gucci now. You sound like Publix fried chicken, my dog.
But yeah, so Iowa State, They were the last team of the day. Matt Campbell, you
Blew
want
me
to talk
away,
about
bro.
eloquent coaches? He's an eloquent guy, man.
I love the way
He
he speaks the
answered
most out of
questions
any
with
question.
he answers questions with such grace. Such grace he answers questions because he was asked about his job. Like, can you be on the hot seat? Not in those words, but he was legitimately asked about that. I said it earlier. This team has a lot of return of production. And I said this on Overreaction Monday. And I've also said on College Football Showdown that it feels like it's about time for Matt Campbell. Like, not time as far as him being fired, but about time for Iowa State to kind of do the unthinkable and win a bunch of games this year. It feels like it's almost time for that. But Moon, go ahead, talk about them, and then we gotta get up out of here.
Listen, he stole the show today.
Mm-hmm.
When I listen to this man talk to the cast on Big 12 Media Days, it's just like you said. Like, you can tell that he's a former ball player, playing at D-line at Mount Union from 99 to 02. But you can also tell that he's been doing this for a very long time, and he's well seasoned. If I was a kid that's about to go play college football, why not Iowa State?
Right.
If I got a man that's like at the front of the ship.
Hey, bro, you said Iowa State, and I saw the video of a guy who looked like Lake Kick Josh, but it wasn't Lake Kick Josh.
I was smacking the corn. Yo, that was Lake Kick Josh, bro.
Yeah, he said that wasn't me, bro. he said it wasn't me, bro. That was hilarious, dog. But continue, my bad, bro. You said Iowa State. I thought about that picture.
Yo, that was funny. That was hilarious. He said it wasn't him. Nah, it was you, buddy. He had the same little ball patch that you got going on too. There's no coincidence, Joshy. There's none, bro.
Oh man, shout out to Josh Pate, man.
Hey, are we gonna get Rocco this year, man? I told you, I'm excited about Rocco.
Yeah,
I'm excited about Rocco this year. I think he can take that next step up this year, and I'm excited about their recruiting class. I'm excited about what they got bringing back. Their safety room is probably the best in the Big 12. You can put it up there, and you can probably put it up there, maybe top 15 country. It's our secondaries.
I don't think that's far fetched.
Like, I love their schedule, how it checks out. I love the fact that Farmageddon is the last week of the season. So that just helps them in their favor.
He gets a lot of hype.
Campbell's consistent at winning 8 or 9 games.
He's in every coaching job. Hey, what about Matt Campbell? What about Matt Campbell? So you're 100% right about that. But can he win a conference title?
You're going to have to get over the hump of West Virginia on October 12th, my guy. You're going to have to get over that hump of Kansas. You're going to have to get over that hump.
I hate to say it in this format. It's time to put up or shut up.
I honestly feel the same way, but based on what he was talking into that Cash Money talk today, this man started listening out how much depth that they have on their defense, and that's returning. And I was just found myself, you know how like you see a girl that's really, really bad, and then you just find yourself just like, it's like those cartoons where it's just like, ooh, Darla, like that, like Little Rascals, like when you see Lola Bunny and it's her hair drops down,
right,
and then all the hearts pop out.
You see the color grading, and
yeah,
it's like mesmerizing, yeah, for sure.
He started talking about all that Cash Money talk about returning depth and starters and productions, and we almost 22 deep on every side of the ball, having 2 starters deep. I'm sitting here like,
he's not wrong at all.
They're the team that I had the most change of heart on in his media days, because I didn't give them really no respect, because I put them in the same capacity as everybody else. Are we going to put up or shut up Matt Campbell? But this year,
I think I had him as maybe 6, but I feel better about that 6.
You say you feel better about the 6 now?
Yeah. I think
do they beat Iowa this year? Do they get the Cy-Hawk Trophy? That's a good one for you.
Iowa, I saw Athlon Sports did the Big Ten projections. Iowa was at 6. How?
Mm.
I understand how bad they are offensively, but defensively, they're still really good. And as long
Yes.
as Phil Parker's the defensive coordinator for Iowa, they're going to continue to be good and they're going to continue to win ugly games. They had the audacity to have USC in front of them.
That is
The
crazy.
audacity.
Nasty word.
Yeah. But these are preseason projections. And guess what? It wouldn't surprise me if Iowa finished better in the Big Ten than Penn State finished in the Big Ten. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
It wouldn't surprise me if Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel went stupid this year. It
So
wouldn't
when you
surprise
ask me who's going to win the Cy-Hawk game, I just told you my respect for Iowa.
You picking Iowa.
I don't
You probably
know.
picking Iowa by. I can't even. I'm not even gonna tell you what the spread is because I'm not gonna do that to you.
Yeah. It's like over under probably 30 points. I would only tell you that to get an over under 30 points, man. That is crazy, dog.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, Moon, my guy Guru, it's been a pleasure. This is Guru and Go on the road again. This is just a sample of what we're going to do during the season, and you guys will see it with ACC Media Days. It's more story driven where you'll see behind the scenes, you'll see the bloopers, you see a lot of stuff we do, and it'll be more storytelling as you'll see us from the field, doing vlogs from the field along with the game. It's going to be really fun. This was fun, bro. Shout out to everybody in the comments section. Shout out to Jalen, even though he a hater. Shout out to my guy Zach Redding. Shout out to my guy Joe. Yo, that's Monte. Shout out to East Coast Gridiron. Shout out to CFB Nation gang. I think that was Nino on the profile.
Hey, so, after every end of the show, we have to start to the tradition now. At the end of every show, we have to give, I don't want to call it a bold statement, but like a final 15 to 30 seconds closing.
Let's do it. Let's get it.
All right, you go first or me?
You go first.
All right, my closing statement. It was hard for me to not vote Noah Fifita as first team all Big 12 in the preseason because I was so tempted to do it because I saw T-Mac and I was like, who in the world is about to guard him? And then I started thinking to myself, well, Rocco was preseason fourth team by Phil Steele, and that's our guy. So I'm like, do I need to put more respect on Rocco? There's a bunch of people I need to put more respect on. But I leave off these Big 12 Media Days and today leaving with high respect for Mr. I gotta give Kenny Dillingham some respect just because he owned it and how trash they were. I gotta give extra respect to Sonny Dykes because I love how loose he is. I'm excited to see West Virginia tomorrow because I think that they'll be stepping with a different type of confidence. And the last 3 seconds is devoted to say CFB Nation take over, everybody.
Make sure you guys follow Moon at the World of Moon on YouTube. It's World of Moon on Twitch now as well, right? Because I know you just recently switched that up, but it's WRLD. Is it World of Moon on Twitter as well?
No, not on Twitter.
I know on YouTube.
Yeah, on Twitter it's CFB Moon.
Okay, make sure you guys follow him everywhere. Really entertaining. Make sure you guys lock in with this CFB Nation, fastest growing college football platform in the world. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We certainly appreciate that. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in a sport that survive in advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, y'all already know what it is. Guru, we on the road again, baby.
On the road again. I can't wait to.
Hey, on the road again.